pretty much always put this time of the year on my calendar anyhow because of the wonderful experiences that I've had.
It's really cool to play in the orchestra with lots of different people from China, Singapore, Austria, Ireland, South Africa.
They teach you to like let go and just to enjoy the music and not necessarily like they have technique that you need to learn, but it's more like have fun with it too.
You meet a lot of people that are fairly similar to you, so you can express almost the same views on things.
Well, this is an important place, and it keeps music alive.
I'm looking down the International Music Camp. I thought if I got up here, I might be able to see what gives this place its true spirit.
I'm taking a more down-to-earth look at IMC.
From up here I can see most of the beautiful campus. There's dormitories, practice rooms, the Quentin Burdick Center for Performing Arts.
Matt has a point. The campus is amazing, but if you really want to feel for what IMC is all about, you have to put your feet on the ground. You have to talk to the students and teachers.
Looks good from up here, but it's the people of IMC that give this camp such a strong spirit. The spirit's so strong, keeps many of them coming back year after year. So what do you say? Let's take a walk around, talk to some teachers and students, and see what gives the International Music Camp its true spirit.
IMC is located on the grounds of the International Peace Garden, right on the border between the Canadian province of Manitoba and the U.S. state of North Dakota. Every summer it's a showcase of real flower power. It attracts thousands of visitors from around the world and symbolizes the long friendship between the United States and Canada. Since 1956, this unique spot has been the home of International Music Camp and its Summer School of Fine Arts. It's a center of cultural study for all ages and attracts students from around the corner and around the world. Each summer, the IMC staff of artist teachers from the United States, Canada, and Europe come to work with students who are ready to push the limit of their talent. Music is the cornerstone of IMC, so let's start by taking a look at the many band classes offered.
And there's a lot. Kickstart Band is for beginners who are just starting out with their instruments, or for players who have decided to change to a different instrument.
It kind of boosts my philosophy that band is for everybody, and music is for everybody. Whether you are a beginner, whether you are here as an honors student, and that you're learning, it builds on the factors of life that are hard work and good ethics.
My dad was a band director, but I never really heard a horn player play, a French horn player, being from Glasgow, Montana originally. And to actually hear someone on my instrument that was an accomplished musician and have them tell me, break down in simple, fundamental things that I need to do to make myself a better player, inspired me very much.
The kids, when they're studying music or studying dance or visual art, I think get in tune with themselves and they look deeper into themselves and they really learn a lot about themselves and about other people.
Cadet Band is for students who have studied their instrument for 1 to 2 years. This program gives students a full band experience and a chance to study privately with an IMC artist teacher.
At home, there's only one band director, and she has to work with all the people in the band. But here, there's not just the conductor, but there's also the different teachers for each different instrument.
You learn a lot more here because they focus on a lot more stuff, and you get a lot more time to do stuff here.
They're fairly inexperienced, but terribly eager to learn, and that's, from a teacher's perspective, is the best thing you can possibly have.
They all need fundamentals, and they all need a good sound, and they all need good technique, and they all need different levels of development. You just take them from where they are and hope that you can make a difference in their lives.
The best time is probably after the performances, and just after you've aced a song and you know you did everything perfectly.
It does a lot for me, and I have a chance to do a lot for the kids. This is a unique environment. I get real excited about coming up here. I love the staff. There's so much support here. And this camp provides somebody special for each job.
They're really wonderful students. They want to learn, and they want to get better.
I think it helps them to become aware of how much bigger the music world is than just in the place where they're growing up.
Junior high and high school band camps are very popular, and they're held several times during the summer. Students have the opportunity to take chamber music and jazz band, in addition to full band rehearsal, master classes, and theory.
Yeah, there's a lot bigger band here, so you can experience more people around.
The way of playing here, I think, is a bit different, but I can't explain it. It sounds different than in Germany.
It's not about winning a trophy, it's not about getting a rating, it's about can you create some music that really communicates passion and emotion and gives the listener that real thing where you go, whoa, what was that? You know, that was that neat experience. Well, you know what, that's what it's about.
It just makes you all that better at what you're doing here. You get the chance to learn everything that you possibly can and do everything the best of your ability.
They're here for an experience, for an opportunity to develop, to become better players, to become better people, and then they go back. I told them that that's their responsibility. You go back and make your program better. I don't care how good it is. Go back and make it better.
The spirit of this camp is all the undertow of the pursuit of this excellence in art. No performing musician ever says, there, that was good enough. That's all there is. That's what life is like, that's what art is like, and I think that's a lot of what this camp is all about.
I'm from a little band, so when we're playing in the honor band and stuff, people are so good, and it's unbelievably fun to play with them.
Things really get interesting with International Youth Band. This 2-week program is for advanced students.
We spend so much time hearing about all the problems of the world and the things that kids aren't doing right, and this is one of those great things that they are doing so right.
In their real lives back home, it's not cool to express yourself completely. You put yourself way out there on a limb. You're taking a great risk with your friends and your peers. Here, they can take those risks a little bit more, and in that way, they stretch and grow at a far faster pace than they would in their daily lives where they live.
For those of you who can pound out a rhythm with just about anything you can lay your hands on, there's the Total Percussion Camp. It features full band rehearsals, percussion ensemble, and marching routines.
One of the things that I try to encourage them to do is try something that they haven't done before. If they've never played mallets or if they've never played snare drum, I try to encourage them to pick that part. Hopefully, broaden their horizons a little bit.
Just make sure you don't rush it. I think that the main thing is just kind of watching their progress, because on Monday a lot of these students come in, or on Sunday actually, they come in and they do their audition, and sometimes you'll find students that can't really read or they don't really even know how to hold the sticks right, and by Friday or Saturday they're really a lot more confident. Most of the time they're better readers, they're better players.
For percussionists interested in mallet experience, IMC offers Marimba Camp for students who are high school or older.
There's not many camps that I know of in the country where they can spend time just focusing on one area of percussion in particular and doing a concert.
When you get to play something you love for that many hours a day, for that many days in a row, it's just thrilling the way you feel at the end of the week.
For some students, the instrument of choice is their own voice. For them, IMC has a variety of choral programs. Cadet choirs for students in grades 4 through 8.
Even if they come with no background at all, we teach the same basic concepts that we're teaching to the younger kids, but we just move at a much faster rate. They can expect to learn a lot of music. We learn 5 to 6 songs. Hopefully get a lot of new skills and be a more intelligent musician about reading their music.
Variety is the key for 5th session choral programs, with girls chorus, mixed chorus, and show choir.
A cutoff, a final consonant.
I work diligently to go from the positive side. I'm a real perfectionist, but at the same time, I try to make sure that the students buy into it both intellectually, socially, and musically.
Throughout the week, we try and teach them how
how to really sing show choir music with good vocal technique and how to perform beyond just standing on stage and singing. I think what it does is people reach down deep inside of themselves and they find something that they didn't discover was there. And about Thursday, 2 or 3 people are ready to crack. And then by Friday they realized, wait a second, I really can do this.
Students with a strong vocal background are invited to take part in the vocal jazz session. It gives singers a chance to learn jazz theory, as well as experiment with improvisation and scat singing.
For so many of them, it's such a brand new experience. They come and they're so excited about just whatever we have to give them. And I think the fact that they bring that, as teachers, we feed off that, and that just really keeps the whole spirit of the camp rolling.
Don't you worry about a thing,
I really enjoy being here. It's been an enjoyable process being here from year to year. And it's actually great because after being here for a number of years, the older students who have been through the program have an understanding of how things are supposed to work, and they actually help the younger students.
Singing a song that makes itself anew, a music magic wand, reaching into a sky of brilliant blue.
I love how a lot of them are so motivated to be here. Like, their parents don't force them to come here. They want to come because they're really interested in music and other fine arts.
They come to a place where everybody loves doing the same thing that they love to do.
Grease paint and spotlights have an appeal that some people just can't resist. For you, IMC presents Stage Left, the drama program. It will help you hone your acting technique and will improve your projection, movement, and staging.
They come here and are kind of quickly immersed into a very creative process.
So they do a lot of improvisation. During the course of the week, we each teach workshops, so they get a variety of workshops.
They have 95 kids who are intensely interested in being here, being with each other, learning about theater and doing theatrical kinds of activities. I mean, it's just very exciting. It's very energizing.
We have so many different instructors and interns that we get all different aspects of theater and ways of doing theater.
There's just a connection between everybody. No one is doing it so that they can be a star. Everyone is doing it so that they can be involved in something big and dynamic and important.
They start to show leadership, but then also help those who are less experienced.
At the beginning of the week, we'll meet people that they barely talk, and by the end of the week, they'll come out of their shells and they'll be right in the action.
To remember what is so delightful and passionate and wonderful about these kids, I think, is really important to me. I think a lot of people underestimate these students.
IMC appreciates that every actor needs a good story to tell. To that end, it offers a creative writing program. It gives students a chance to refine their skills in thinking, composing, and writing.
I basically let them do what they like to do, and then I just try to help them make that better. The level of commitment and the talent that was there was way beyond anything I had expected.
Everyone here is really interested in what they're doing, and they're really passionate about it, so you get people that actually care what you're saying.
In my hometown, there aren't many writing teachers and there aren't many writing students, and usually I spend my time pretty much alone. So when I come to the camp, it's like I get to meet other writers and talk about things that I want to talk about.
Late afternoon, IMC offers a variety of ways to sit back and relax.
Activities include dances, movies, student talent nights, faculty recitals and concerts, as well as volleyball, soccer, and basketball.
Normally I'm a dean or a counselor here, so I get to spend the day with the kids, day and night. The people are great, the kids are fun to work with, the weather's usually pretty good, and the hot dogs and hamburgers are flame kissed.
I've met a bunch of my friends that I know that I'm really good friends with now in the lunch line, actually.
Before I went to the University of Tennessee, I was in Los Angeles for almost 20 years as a freelance musician in the recording industry. There's people out there teaching school all over the world or influencing music students that perhaps were here. And they see a young student who's interested and talented and they go, You know where you should be in the summer is the International Music Camp.
As we've seen, there's no shortage of spirit here at IMC. But just to make sure things always stay lively, let's take a look at cheerleading camp, presented by North America's top cheerleading staff. It covers new cheers, chants, and sidelines, in addition to pyramids, exciting stunts, and transitions.
Get that ball, let's go! Get that ball!
From the beginning of the camp to the end of the camp is just awesome. Watch them kind of transform into cheerleaders.
Let's go!
Extreme Dance brings together professional dancers and choreographers to teach dance teams the most creative hip-hop and extreme dance material, offering classes in dance technique, team building ideas, and proper warm-ups.
We do a lot of choreography directed specifically at like halftime performances and timeouts during basketball games and that sort of thing.
It looks a lot different than cheerleading. They're getting a lot of jazz and ballet styles incorporated into their moves.
Making music plays a large part in the summer's activities here at IMC. The dance programs take music one step further by transforming into something that's also beautiful to look at.
We try to improve their technique in different areas of dance. They all take ballet, they all take modern, and most of them take jazz, and the more advanced dancers take point, and some take taps.
I get to see them start right at the very beginning and come out at the end having some really solid knowledge of steps and how they're done and how they're meant to look and how they're meant to go with other people.
One student that's graduated from the University of Minnesota dance program who has started at IMC when she was about 12 and is now dancing professionally, and she's absolutely incredible dancer.
The choreography and the technique is a lot different from back home, but you get used to it after a while and start to learn like how to do what they're so.
Keyboard classes at IMC include both piano and organ study. At least 2 years of playing experience is required for the piano session. For the organ program, 5 years of experience is needed.
This is an opportunity for some people who have studied organ for a long time to come and learn further, but it's also an opportunity for people that play piano that may want to get started on the organ.
They're here to sharpen up their skills and learn some new techniques and also catch up on technology, because technology moves quick.
What makes it special, of course, is the setting, the fact that we spend all day long talking about piano playing, the fact that there's such a wonderful faculty here that are so dedicated to making this the best experience they can.
It's a great chance for everybody to learn how to do an instrument better, or even if they just started to come up here and try it.
When it comes to variety, no instrument offers you as many ways to stretch your musical wings than the guitar. IMC guitar classes let you explore a variety of styles, including folk, classical, jazz, and rock.
I find it a real challenge to take some students that have never gotten together and put kind of a band together. A lot of the students bring electric guitars, and some of them bring acoustic guitars as well. So we have a real wide variety of kind of interests and abilities as well. My personal goal for the students this week is when they get home from camp and people say, well, what did you learn? That they can just sit down and play a song.
For students preparing for a career in music, IMC offers the Music Honors Program. For students who have completed grades 10 to 12, it offers the opportunity to explore the basic courses required for music majors at the college or university level.
when you're in a small town, you have one director. My director happens to be a vocal instructor. However, I don't sing. I play an instrument, and here I'm able to get the specialized education that I need in my certain instrument.
I think the neatest thing about working with the honors program is that they're interested in making a career in music, and I think that's kind of neat, is to share information with them as I'm on my career path, to kind of share with them what theirs might be.
You do a lot more playing, you do a lot more work, but you get more out of it as well.
Sometimes you walk through the camp, you might hear a ring in your ears. Don't worry, it's a good thing. It means one of the handbell workshops are in progress.
I came here the first year of the camp, which is 49 years ago, as a band director from Winnipeg. Was put on the board by Dr. Utgard as a Canadian representative, and so I worked with him during the early years of the camp in developing the camp.
Visual arts also play a big part in the summer school's activities. There's classrooms for students of all ages. Basic art, drawing, cartooning, oils and acrylics, and portraiture programs.
There is that energy here. It is an incredible, wonderful kind of energy, and it's a lot of love. It's a lot of heart, and it's a trading back and forth and a sharing and a bonding.
They see us as professionals, and we're trying to relate to them what we know as professionals. Because when they see our work, they know that we're trying to give them the best that we can.
There's no pressure, you know, so far as what you have to get done. They're here to help you.
I just like it because I can be surrounded by artists, people who share the same ideas as I do.
Junior high and high school students with at least 3 years of playing experience will enjoy Jazz Camp. It's a full week of performing with the big band, studying jazz theory and improvisation. Students can also study privately with one of IMC's artist teachers.
What I've seen this year is a couple of the musicians who were here last year, you know, were maybe into rock and roll and never played any jazz and the like, and all of a sudden they've come back this year. They've been listening to jazz all year.
They teach us here to try and produce a fuller, jazzier sound than in South Africa, where I come from.
But overall, what I see is kids that are inspirational, kids that are hungry to learn a lot about music.
I enjoy the ensembles because they're very willing to learn, and so I come and I get so inspired when I come here. I usually write a lot of music when I'm here.
Kickstart for Jazz Rhythm Section Beginners is for students with at least 1 year of experience on guitar, bass, or drums. Piano players must have at least 4 years of experience.
All the kids that just kind of show up, sat down with a couple of them the other day, and they didn't have any idea about key signatures or anything, and I sat down and taught them, and they told me today they got 2 wrong on their theory test. So I'm like, all right.
String players also have the opportunity to broaden their talents at fiddle school. For intermediate and advanced players, its focus is on Texas style and Western swing.
I studied classical for about 10 years through the Royal Conservatory of Music in Toronto. And in addition to that, just studied fiddling as well with an old-time fiddle player. The thing with fiddling is that there needs to be a focus on bowing. So we're spending a lot of time with technique and tunes, so kind of learning fiddle tunes as we go and dissecting the tunes and learning technique as we go.
If you play a string instrument, IMC offers 4 levels of classes to students of all ages. Cadet strings for the younger students, concert strings for the intermediates, and advanced students in the symphony orchestra. Advanced wind players are also invited to come play at the camp.
Some things I think have especially improved, and I'm looking forward to kind of going home and continuing working on some stuff I started here with my teacher.
Well, we have sectionals before we have rehearsals, so we're given a little bit of time to work on it before we actually go to rehearsal.
Right, it's okay when you're learning to... I think kids like to be challenged. If they had something that was too easy, I don't think they'd like it as much. I think, they like it when it's hard but within reach, and then they just rise to the level that you put in front of them.
Here the teachers play often with us, and in Luxembourg they wait until we are finished, and so they tell us what we can make better.
You can see that the place is very, so you can study music here very free.
In a camp like this, you see a lot of other people that do their hour, 2, 3 hours, or whatever it is a day, in order to get themselves better. So you start this sort of network.
People were definitely wonderful. They just bent over backwards to help.
Every person who teaches here loves music more than anything else in their entire lives, and that's why they're involved in it.
The teachers are really awesome. They'll joke around with you, but then when it's time to get down to business, they really want to help you.
When you actually are here, you get a chance to go outside of the lines.
The studies are progressive. As you start at the beginning, you progress to a more difficult level, so there's still things to come back to.
I know people that I met 5 years ago, I still know them, so yeah, it's really cool.
By coming here, you grow so much in your music, and it helps you grow as a musician and know what it takes to be a good musician.
I can't think of a better way how to spend my summer than learning music with people here who want to learn music.
Try to bring out the most out of each kid, and I think that's what I bring home, just that unity of this camp.
And I think this is very important because music is understanding from everybody in the whole world.
When you're involved with an art form, you're cultivating a language and a new way of expressing yourself, and at the same time you're disciplining yourself to work hard at what you do. If somebody here inspired them to love their art form more than ever before, we're doing our job.
Since 1956, students have come to International Music Camp to improve their skills, but what they left with has been so much more.
They returned home having exchanged ideas on culture and having met many new friends, some of which will last a lifetime.
All it takes is a group of students and teachers who share the same love for music and the arts.
So we hope to see you here next summer. After all, it's the students that make IMC so special. You are what gives IMC its true spirit.
Moosh the moosh, that's what he said. Told the band to take the tune back to the head. There's a moose on the loose, and he's scatting on the blues. He chased the deeds and the bugs, and now he's chasing his blues away.
This production of the Spirit of International Music Camp has been brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling of Minot, North Dakota, and Pepsi-Cola of Minot, Bottineau, Devils Lake, Dickinson, and Hettinger.